Idaho Matters is one way to learn about the people, the places, and the things that make Idaho unique. From the geography, the flora and the fauna, to the culture and arts of this place that we call home. Subscribe and listen to Idaho Matters today at boisestatepublicradio.org/podcasts or wherever you listen to podcasts.
From Boise State Public Radio, this is The Connector, Idaho's daily news. Good morning, I'm Michael Schauer. It's Thursday, December 5th, and here are today's headlines. The Treasure Valley's irrigation system is getting a makeover, and a new study says that Idaho is the nation's leader in small business growth. Those stories and more coming up. The Treasure Valley's irrigation system is getting a makeover, funded in large part by federal funds. Julie Lucetta has more on the canal rehabilitation project running through Boise.
The 41 miles of canals run from the Diversion Dam on the Boise River to Lake Lowell and provide irrigation water to roughly 165,000 acres of farmland in the Treasure Valley. The New York Irrigation District is receiving more than $62 million from the American Rescue Plan and the Department of the Interior to revamp the system. The money will pay for rehab of 6 miles running through the Boise Bench. The Boise Project Board of Control has been working on that segment roughly 400 feet at a time when the canals are not in use in winter. The funding means construction is expected to complete 1 mile of lining per winter. In a press release, project manager Bob Carter said as a result, the project will be done in 6 years rather than 50. Perched above thousands of homes on the Boise Bench, the New York Canal was completed in 1909. Recently, the Bureau of Reclamation designated it as, quote, urban canal of concern because of its age and potential risk of leakage. The construction will include deepening the canals to their original depth, relining them, and adding both rebar and concrete. Julie Lucetta, Boise State Public Radio News.
A new study looking at health records from 1.2 million older patients has found a strong link between wildfire smoke and dementia diagnoses. The Mountain West News Bureau's Murphy Woodhouse has details.
Researchers were looking at PM 2.5 pollution, made up of particles with diameters at least 30 times smaller than a human hair. They found that for every additional microgram from wildfires per cubic meter of air, patients faced an 18% increase in the odds of a dementia diagnosis. The figure for non-wildfire PM 2.5 was just 1%.
So that's a markedly stronger association with wildfire PM 2.5.
Lead author Dr. Helly Elser is a resident neurologist at the University of Pennsylvania. She suggested several possible explanations. Wildfire smoke's particles are smaller on average than other sources, meaning they could cross the blood-brain barrier more easily. It also comes in short, intense periods. But whatever the source, Elser says the public should monitor their local air quality index.
And if that number exceeds 100, you want to be very thoughtful about how much time you're spending outside.
If you have to be outside in bad air, she recommends an N or KN95 mask. For the Mountain West News Bureau, I'm Murphy Woodhouse.
The city of Boise has launched the Boise Community Climate Action Committee. Members will collaborate with city staff and the community in an effort to tackle the impacts of climate change. The city of Boise is seeking residents from diverse backgrounds, professions, and industries to join the committee. There is a 1-year commitment with monthly meetings for 1.5 hours each. Applications are now open and will close December 20th. Applications will be reviewed and the final committee of 20 members will be announced in late January. U.S. wildlife officials have finalized a recovery plan with new proposed habitats for the threatened Canada lynx. As the Mountain West News Bureau's Rachel Cohen reports, the wildcats are snow-dependent, which makes them vulnerable to climate change.
The new actions are the result of a court order. Environmental groups sued the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service a few years ago when it left out the Southern Rockies as core habitat. About 200 lynx were reintroduced to Colorado starting in the late 90s. Matthew Bishop, an attorney for the nonprofit, says now the agency is including the Southern Rockies as critical habitat.
They really need mature multi-storied forests with lots of horizontal cover, and these Rocky Mountain conifer forests are sort of ideal for them.
Bishop says the designation could mean lynx are a factor before new logging projects or ski resorts are approved. The proposal also includes areas in Idaho, Montana, New Mexico, and Wyoming. But it suggests shrinking critical habitat in the greater Yellowstone ecosystem, where officials say lynx are less likely to thrive. For the Mountain West News Bureau, I'm Rachel Cohen.
Public comments on the new lynx habitat designations are due January 28th. A new study says that Idaho is the nation's leader in small business growth. In the dataset, researchers from On Deck defined a small business as a company with fewer than 500 employees. The study also shows Boise to have the highest growth rate for medium-sized metros, and Coeur d'Alene to have the fourth highest growth rate among small metros. The study was completed in October of this year. The American Red Cross encourages donors to give blood this month. Type O negative blood donors are especially needed. Senator Jim Risch introduced the Accelerating Reliable Capacity Act yesterday to accelerate investment in new commercial nuclear projects. The ARC Act is meant to help with the significant upfront cost and timing uncertainties in building new nuclear reactor technologies for the first time. The program would benefit 3 or more next-generation nuclear energy projects to jumpstart commercialization. A Treasure Valley resident has been diagnosed with tuberculosis. This has prompted an investigation by Central District Health. The unidentified person attended Meridian High School between August and November of this year. The health district's investigation aims to determine if any TB transmission occurred at Meridian High School. Anyone not contacted by Central District Health does not need to take any action. A union contract dispute between firefighters and the city of Lewiston has landed in court. The union is calling for mediation to resolve issues between the two groups. No court dates have been filed in the litigation. The McCall Mountaineers put up 2 wins over the weekend, defeating the Sun Valley Suns at the Manchester Ice and Events Center. McCall moved to 6-0, the team's best start in 3 seasons. The victories over the Suns were encouraging for the McCall Club, which is in just its 3rd season and features several players who played for the Idaho Junior Steelheads, a team that called the Manchester Ice home from 2009 to 2016. The Treasure Valley has entered inversion season. It's characterized by morning fog, stagnant air, and cold temperatures at low elevations. This is because cold air is trapped beneath hot air. It generally happens from about Thanksgiving to Valentine's Day. The current inversion is likely to remain until Saturday night or Sunday morning, when a cold front is predicted to potentially help push the air through. Icy, foggy conditions may have contributed to a number of crashes during the morning commute on Wednesday. Those who travel to higher ground, such as Bogus Basin, are able to get above the inversion layer and experience sunny blue skies, better air quality, and warmer temperatures. And although conditions are expected to clear up Sunday, the valley may be in for another inversion come early next week. And that's today's episode of The Connector. I'm Michael Scherer, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. To stay in touch with the news between now and then, check out BoiseStatePublicRadio.org or download the free Boise State Public Radio app. Thanks for listening.
If you like podcasts like this, explore more from the Boise State Public Radio podcast family. There you'll find a mix of daily news, Idaho Voices, and in-depth series on a wide range of topics. I'm talking wild horses, political scandals, sustainable ranching, and militia groups in a post-January 6th world. Wherever you get your podcasts, just search Boise State Public Radio to find what Idaho's NPR station has in store for you.